Whispers ASMR. I appreciate your time. Thank you for listening to me say absolutely nothing important. Hi, everybody. Deep Whispers here. I thought I would give, I think it's softly spoken ASMR a shot. I don't know if my voice is just sort of booming in the first place, but we're going to give it a shot. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you like it, you like it. If it sucks, it sucks. Let me know. Either way. And I appreciate you guys for doing that. Always. Time travel. That's what we're on. Oh, Deep Whispers. Time travel. That's what we're on today. And I was watching something the other day. Yesterday, I think it was. And all of a sudden, like, an idea hit my brain really, really hard. And I got excited for some reason. And that's terrible because this could ruin the whole premise and idea of time travel that we've become accustomed to, watching movies, reading books, things like that. And so part of it is that we as humans, we think of time travel very linearly, like on a very flat plane. Like, I'm going to be here, I'm going to go 50 years back in the future, and it's going to be 50 years ago right here. I don't think that's how it works, because you're unplugging, let's say the time machine, or the time machine from the movie or the book, or the DeLorean, of course, from Back to the Future, which highly suggest watching. I love that movie. I love it so much that I ruined the VHS tape, mid-80s. That and Indiana Jones Temple of Doom and Teen Wolf. I had them all on the same VHS tape because we went VHS, not Betamax, so we had more room. I watched all three of those movies probably daily for months until the tape just stopped being able to hold the recording. I love Back to the Future. But here's where it kind of goes off for me a little bit. This is important. It's not important at all, actually. It's important to my point. It's not important to the world at all. So, serious now. You have Marty, right? He's driving away from the Libyans, and a freshly killed Doc Brown. He hits 88 miles an hour. He goes back to 1955. Happens to be in the exact same geological location where the Twin Pines Mall is, except it's not. Because in 1955 it was somebody's pine tree farm, not a parking lot. So what ends up happening is, instead of driving on a road, Marty is all of a sudden running into a farm, because that's where a farm was, I guess at the time, 30 years ago. I'm going to use 50 years in a minute, just because I like it better. So what you have is, Marty goes back in time. He stays in the same geographic location at the same time of day, or in this case, night. And everyone accepts it and totally moves on, and also is totally cool with him kissing his mom for some reason. I don't know why. Not okay. So, here's my problem with it. Because if you're in a time machine, either the time machine from the book, I like that word, book, ink, pages, font, those time machines, when you travel through time, you are isolating yourself, the machine itself, and you inside. You're unplugging yourself from the whole universe and moving through time. Now, if you do that, right, like here's the Earth, this, my big ham hock, Earth, you are here. The Earth is not only spinning on its axis, it's also going around the sun. And it's not just doing that. The whole solar system is moving through space like a twirling donut around the whole Milky Way. So what you have is if Marty went back, I'm going to say 50 years, I know it wasn't. If Marty went back 50 years, or if you go back 50 years, right? You start here, but 50 years ago, the Earth was way over here. We travel through space so fast, the Earth would be way the hell over there. Like, you probably wouldn't be able to see it. It'd be so far away. And what that leaves you with is you're just going to be hanging out in a decompressed DeLorean, blue in the face because death. And then just eventually, right about now, I guess, maybe, you might be passing Elon Musk's Tesla on the way to Mars. I don't know. That's where we are. Because time moves differently. Because what we're talking about here isn't just time travel, it's also physical location travel. You would have to, a lot of different things. You would have to be able to travel through time, which we're not 100% sure is you're able to do. Then you would also have to be able to blink. You'd have to have a blink drive of some sort to instantly travel from the place that you were time traveling from to where you want to go physically. So you got to go from over here over to there. You also have to make sure that the planet itself is in the right rotation, because we don't work off of exact numbers. That's why we have leap years. So you could, I mean, even if you wanted to try and stay pinpointed, you could just end up materializing right in the Hoover Dam. I don't know. I mean, the whole world is spinning around. Not to mention, you know, if you were to stay in the exact same location, we terraform the Earth all the time, you know, and especially in the last 50 years or so, and certainly between 1955 and 1985. So what used to be a flat road, maybe not anymore, you know. We've built freeways since then. We have overpasses, on-ramps, off-ramps. We've dug dirt, we've moved earth, all kinds of different things. And so, like, there is just too much involved, because now you're not just thinking about the timeline. Like, I want to go from here to here, and that's about as simple as we've been. But really, there are so many dimensions to think about. There's height, there's elevation, there's left, there's right, there's back, and there's forward, you know. And so it really becomes a problem that I don't know that we would ever be able to actually solve. I mean, no matter how much computing power you would be able to throw at, there are numbers that I can't even start to fathom, and it's probably because I'm not very smart. Not as smart as I need to be for this anyway. You know, I don't think a lot of people are. I don't even know if the people who built CERN could be smart enough to figure out so many of the exact microsciences that you need so that you don't. I mean, I'm not even talking about the whole paradox, the simple paradox idea of what if you kill the grandfather of the person who created the energy source, or the actual widget, the flux capacitor, you kill that guy's grandfather by accident, then the whole thing doesn't work, and how'd you get back there in the first place to kill him? That's a paradox. It's easy enough to understand. I'm talking about a paradox that is, maybe it's not a paradox, it's just like, how do you make sure that you don't materialize inside the planet somewhere, or even in space because you thought that's where the planet was going to be? Or how do you even move if you've unplugged yourself from the physical universe to travel across time, which is not physical? How do you get back? How do you physically move through space when you're already unplugged to move through time? There's two different things. They run on the same, it's like this here. This is my audio, that's my video. They're separate. I run them at the same time, but I work in each one separately, individually. And so maybe it's the same way with time and space. I know we consider it time and space. It's like a single idea. But I think they're separate. I think if you're moving through time, you can't be here to move through space. So there's got to be a lot of different things going on. Anyway, I'm not going to bore you anymore. It's just like a quick idea that I had that I wanted to share with everybody, and I hope I didn't. I mean, it's very unlikely that I ruined anything for anybody. I don't have that much power, but it certainly ruined things for me. I don't have the same wonderment anymore about time travel because it doesn't make sense to me anymore. It probably shouldn't have made sense to me before. It was a lot easier to just think that, oh yeah, you're here, you're going to time travel, and so of course you would be there 50 years ago. Now, yeah, of course you would be there 50 years ago, but everything else isn't. But hey, magical realism. That's why we love movies. That's why we love Hollywood. That's why we love books and imagination. I mean, throw dragons into the mix, right? Time-traveling, fire-breathing dragons with Geralt. Why not? And so that's the fun of imagination. So we'll just keep on going with that. But I really don't know that time travel on its own would actually be a thing. Just because of everything I just said. If you don't remember, go back and listen to it again. Anyway, I'm going to go. I appreciate your time. Thank you for listening to me say absolutely nothing important. If anything, I hope that you're asleep right now. Please be asleep. Please be asleep. And I will see you in the future. I know how that sounds now. And in the meantime, enjoy life. I love you all. Thank you for participating. And